The goal is not to use these weapons here. The goal in us bringing these weapons to protest is to remind the powers that be that their power derives from the people.
Yeah.
And not from some office in Frankfurt or Indianapolis or DC. It comes from the consent of the governed.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here, and that's why we come armed. It's not because we want to shoot anybody. In fact, we would
rather not.
We would rather
not have to.
Ask God that we do not have to shoot anybody. We want to be peaceful, but sometimes reasonable men are driven to unreasonable things.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to a lot of different things all year long. I've been up in Minneapolis. I've been to Austin. I've been up in Michigan a bunch. I've been to Milwaukee, Madison. It's weird. It's different at every protest. Like the vibe is different at every protest. Sometimes you get along well with people. Sometimes you don't quite get along so well with people. But it's just different every day.
What I would encourage everybody to do, and this isn't just the Boogaloo Boys, but to make sure you're carrying a sign that explicitly displays what you are there for. You know, let people know. And that oftentimes diffuses this situation, because when we were still in a situation where most people believed that the Boogaloo Boys were racist, the protests I went to, I would carry a sign that says, "The war on drugs killed Breonna Taylor." Now, it diffused many situations, because before jumping to the conclusion, oh, it's one of those racist Boogaloo Boys, they see the sign and they say, oh look, it's someone who sees the problem. So
yeah, I've had instances in like Milwaukee where we would do like security for Frank Nitti, that guy that did that march to DC, and like we'd show up and they'd be like, oh, you're the white supremacist group that we're always like worried about attending the protest. And we're like, well, no, we're here to help you guys. And then they get all excited.
That's what happened in Austin. When we were in Austin, we all started getting out of the vehicles at UT. There were two different protests happening, one at UT and then one at 4th and Congress.
Cool.
And we get there about the time that 4th and Congress started to get pretty heavy the Saturday after Garrett Foster was shot. And, you know, we had a few of the organizers approach us and ask, like, you know, why are you here? Are you here to protect us? Are you here to hurt us? You know, they didn't know what our intentions were. And, you know, as soon as we told them that we were there to protect them, they were all for it. And I personally have had people approach me and say that they appreciate what we're doing and, you know, want us to come out here. And then I've had people that didn't understand why we were there, you know, cuss me like a dog. And at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything for me whether people, you know, support it or not, because I'm out here defending my rights and defending these people's rights. And that's it. You know, I'm not out here to, you know, tote guns or, you know, feel like some Billy badass.
Or look cool.
Or look cool or whatever, yeah. I mean,
like, I'd much rather be at the house drinking right now.
Yeah, exactly, man.
You
like,
know?
The bars would have been open tonight had all this not went down, and I'd rather be at a bar right now.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is.
That's just how this year's been.
Yep, that's exactly how it's been. And, you know, it's kind of crazy seeing how it all unfolded, you know. Like, we've had all these racial tensions for, I mean, decades. I mean, you could argue centuries. And, you know, we see how it's come to be, and we've seen how, like, you know, taking away the pressure release valves for society through COVID by shutting down the bars and the movie theaters and everything, it turned into this. And I'm not saying this is COVID's fault or anything. This is absolutely the powers that be.
Yeah,
but it was the trigger. It was the
yeah.
straw that broke the camel's back.
For a lot of people.
For a lot of people.
And it's weird that a lot of this stuff started happening 2 or 3 months after the lockdown started, because people got, like, cooped up in their houses 2 or 3 months and got really mad. And then it just took a thing like the George Floyd thing or the Breonna Taylor thing to really, really make them mad.
Yep.
And the rest of the year's kind of happened like that.
Yeah, it's just been one thing after another.
After the other, yeah.
And it's unfortunate that there's so much to be sick of in our country right now.
Mm-hmm. And it sucks that, like, I've traveled to both coasts this year. I've been all the way to, like, the Mexican border, all the way to the Canadian border, doing different things, and it's been a busy, busy year, and I'd rather it not be, so I could, like, hang out at home and do what I like to do. But sometimes it's not like that, and you gotta actually stand up for, like, values and what you believe in and stuff.
I think the best way to describe what we're doing And I want to make it clear that, you know, it was written under a different context. You know, it was written under the context of we are declaring war. So I'm going to make that clear. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it says in the Declaration of Independence something along the lines of under acts of absolute despotism, it is a people's right, it is their duty to overthrow such tyrannical regime and replace it. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember right offhand the quote, but that's the gist of it. If you as an American citizen think that there is something wrong, if you as an American citizen think that there is something wrong in your community and you don't stand up for it, I'm ashamed of you, like genuinely, because it's not your right to go stand up for it, it's your duty. You have to do that.